Everyone knows the legendary detective Sherlock Holmes, but few are aware that his mother had a daughter, Miss Holmes. When Sherlock's mother mysteriously disappears, Enola disguises herself and boards a train to London. As soon as she gets on the train, she's startled by a blonde boy named Tewkesbury. He tells Enola that he's escaped from home and is now being pursued, begging her to save him. Eyeing the extravagantly dressed Tewkesbury with suspicion, Enola turns to leave, but as soon as she steps out of the carriage, she hears agonizing screams behind her. She quickly turns around to see a tall man grabbing Tewkesbury. In this critical moment, Enola decisively steps in to rescue him. To evade their pursuer, the two are forced to jump off the train together. Tewkesbury is thrilled to have escaped danger, but Enola is very angry at being implicated and unable to take the train. Just as she's about to open her mouth to scold Tewkesbury, her stomach growls with hunger. Tewkesbury laughs. This seemingly inept rich boy actually possesses exceptional wilderness survival skills. He introduces Enola to the characteristics of each plant, finds water and food sources, and even builds a fire to keep her warm. Seeing Enola's surprised expression, Tewkesbury grins smugly. The two travel together until they reach London, where Enola parts ways with Tewkesbury. Unwilling to continue following him, London is shrouded in dark clouds, with the scent of conspiracy permeating everywhere. Enola knows her time is limited. Her opponent is none other than the brilliant detective Sherlock Holmes. As soon as her brother discovers her whereabouts, he will undoubtedly bring her home at top speed and lock her up. On the streets of London, people are all discussing a strange occurrence: a duke set to inherit. A title has suddenly vanished without a trace the day before his coronation ceremony. Enola has no interest in this, but she takes note of the newspapers in everyone's hands. In London, everyone reads the papers. The papers can reach every corner, the perfect tool for conveying messages. The next day, Enola publishes her mother's unique secret code in all the newspapers, hoping to receive a reply. That night, she hides alone in her room, continuing to study the clues her mother left behind. After rearranging the letters, Enola obtains a place name. When she finds this location, a tightly closed wooden door awaits her. A purple hair ribbon tied around the door catches Enola's attention. It's identical to the colorful trim on her mother's wooden box. Moreover, Enola recalls that many unfamiliar aunts would often visit their home, wearing the same ribbon on their wrists as her mother. Enola opens the door and goes in, finding a large stack of flyers on the table about women's rights and suffrage. The room is filled with a variety of raw materials. Enola tests them using the methods her mother taught her and discovers they are all explosives. Enola is perplexed. She's certain this place is connected to her mother, but what exactly was her mother trying to do? She carefully closes the door and leaves, but suddenly a hand reaches out from behind and traps her. It turns out to be the pursuer from the train. Recalling her mother's teachings to feign weakness and wait for the right moment, Enola pretends to fall unconscious. When the man lets his guard down, she launches a surprise attack. In Enola's mind, she constantly recalls the fighting techniques her mother taught. She begins fighting the pursuer right there on the street. The pursuer is very strong, and Enola inadvertently stumbles into the room from earlier. Quick-witted, she ignites all the gunpowder in the room and turns to flee.